Here to talk about. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Foundation and the work that it makes possible as a result of how it works, of course, is a passion for me. So I do want to thank you for the opportunity to speak about the Rotary Foundation. So let's start off by talking about the mission of the Rotary Foundation. First of all, the foundation is over 108 years old, established in 1917. So we celebrated the 100th anniversary in 2017 and continue to go strong. The mission is a fairly lofty goal, of course, advance world understanding and so on. But if we break it down, really, the foundation takes the gifts that you give and the donations that you give to the Rotary Foundation and turns them into service projects that can change the lives of both folks at home and people around the world. So the purpose really of the Rotary Foundation is to help Rotarians work on projects that they are passionate about and to help them to do good in the world. The Rotary Foundation works in, it's dedicated to certain causes. So we call them the areas of focus. There are 7 key areas of focus that we work on. These, whether you choose to do a project in the environment or community development or maternal and child health, they are projects, if you're working somewhere else in the world, that will build good international relationships. They will, of course, improve lives and promote a more peaceful world. These areas of focus are not chosen by accident. They do represent the world's greatest area of need. And if I look at these 7 causes, I'm not sure that there's any one of them that doesn't resonate with me. I'm sure that if you look at it, there'll be something that stands out for you, some of the things that you think are really critically important. For me, peace building, conflict prevention is really important, but then so is basic education and literacy, maternal and child health, water and water sanitation and hygiene. They all, in their own way, contribute to peace. And so I am fond of each and every one of them because I think they all have a role. But for me, the most important one is peace. And if I look around the world today, I think more than ever, we need to focus on how we ensure that we work on conflict prevention and continue to do peace building in whatever way we can. It's always a pleasure to present at the Rotary Club of Winnipeg. First of all, it's my club, but secondly, it is so involved in so many of these areas of focus. So if we look at peace building and conflict resolution, we have the club working on World Peace Partners and working with people to promote peace and to make sure that we have peaceful an opportunity to know how to negotiate and how to talk with one another. They do peace days, the Rotary Adventures in Human Rights for young students who have an opportunity to take a look at human rights and take a look at how best to serve the world. And if we're talking about education and literacy, of course, we have projects that take a look at providing books to students that need them, backpacks to northern communities to help with education literacy. If you look at the water and sanitation and hygiene part, of course, we've taken part in building water wells in Africa and in other parts of the world. We have been involved in Guatemala in connecting homes to potable water where those homes didn't have them before. If you look at the community and economic development, the hip rollers in Africa that allow women to be able to build garden or have gardens and to not have to carry water to the degree that they have. If we look at maternal and child health, whether we talk about some of the medications and different things that we've been involved in, even locally building beds for kids is amazing. So the Rotary Club of Winnipeg is certainly looking at each and every one of these areas and looking to see where the Rotarians from the Rotary Club of Winnipeg can have an impact. The foundation can and has helped each and every one of us to turn our passion for a cause into action and lasting change. Of course, Rotarians, whether the Rotary Club of Winnipeg or all others, are encouraged to lead efforts in every one of these areas of focus as we move forward. And the role of the Rotary Foundation is to be there to support those efforts by way of grants. So from a financial perspective, to make it a little bit easier for Rotarians to carry out the projects that they are very passionate about. So in fact, the very mission of our foundation is to enable you as a Rotarian to advance world understanding. If we go back to the mission statement, goodwill and peace, by supporting all of those projects that you undertake, and providing some financial support in each and every one of those areas. Of course, the foundation is a world-class organization. It is not just the Rotarians that say that. It is active in nearly every country in the world, and they are serious about stewardship. Any funds that are donated to the Rotary Foundation are carefully overseen by your fellow Rotarians, the trustees of the Rotary Foundation. And the Rotary Foundation Canada, which I'm a member of, is an associate to the Rotary Foundation. And with the oversight from the trustees, the board of the Rotary Foundation Canada ensures that your donations are invested well and spent wisely so they'll do good in the world. And so just to give you a little bit broader description of the Rotary Foundation Canada, any donations that are made to the annual programs fund are invested in Canada. They are managed by the Rotary Foundation Canada. And so I know that there are some people who are a little bit concerned about the political situation south of us. So that is certainly one way to make sure that we are as safe as we possibly can be by investing the money right here and making sure that we manage it right from this end. So if we go back to outstanding performance, our members' generosity and the work that's being done hasn't gone unrecognized. For 16 consecutive years, the Rotary Foundation has received the highest rating of 4 stars from Charity Navigator, which is an independent evaluator of charities. They received this rating for demonstrating strong financial health and commitment to accountability and transparency. Stewardship over the donors' contributions not only gives us recognition from those that are taking a look at charities and how they operate, it also allows us to build strong partnerships. And if we think about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Government of Canada, who support us financially, the World Health Organization, who works with us tirelessly in a number of different areas, and of course, World Vision, that has come on board as a significant partner in a number of different areas that we're working in. Without the stewardship that's exercised, it would be a lot more difficult for us to be able to get the kind of partnerships that we're looking at. And if we look at the Gates Foundation, whatever money we donate to the Polio Plus program is matched 2-to-1. So our goal each year at the Rotary Foundation is to raise $50 million around the globe for polio eradication. And the Gates Foundation matches that 2-to-1. So for every 50 million that Rotarians come up with, the Gates Foundation will give us 100 million and have. And in addition to having done that in the past, they have just extended that contract and will continue to do the 2-to-1 match up until 2028 moving forward. So really good partnerships, really good opportunities for us to receive funding. And again, the partnerships wouldn't be available if we did not exercise the stewardship that we do over the money. In terms of why we would want to support the annual fund, so I just mentioned the annual fund a couple of minutes ago. It's because it comes back to you. So when you give to the annual programs fund, 100% of what is given to the annual programs fund comes back to the district. And so Rotary Foundation has a very unique funding method. What they do is they take your donation and they invest it for 3 years, and the interest that is earned on that 3-year investment period is then used to defray some of the costs around this, the infrastructure and the different things that they need to pay for, staffing and so on, so that more of your money can actually go and do work on specific projects. So for 3 years, your contribution's invested. When it comes back to us after 3 years, it goes into what we call as district funds. It also goes into global funds. And at the end of the day, what that means is that all of the money is going to be available to you, whether you're talking about doing something locally for a district project or doing something internationally. And so you have access to grant funding from each one of those pockets that you can see on the screen right now, whether it's the World Fund, the district designated funds, or so district grants, global grants. And it does allow you to tap into those funds to help you defray the cost of working on a project. The foundation has, of course, spent a lot of money over the course of many years. The last 2024-25 funding has been, if you look at the $146 million worth in the Polio Plus, 100 million of that, as I said before, comes from the Gates Foundation. The balance was what was raised by Rotarians. 72 million around the globe was provided for global grants. So people that were working on projects, whether it's Africa or Peru or whatever other part of the world. Ukraine, of course, is a one that a lot of people are working in. So 72 million last year was provided to help Rotarians carry out service projects around the globe. 29 million for district grants. And so we talk about the money that we give and it comes back to us. And the 29 million, of course, we get some of it back in District 5550. And that's what allows us to actually carry out some of the projects locally and allow us to get some grant funding to help us to do that. Another 32 million was spent on peace centers. Of course, we had a brand new peace center that was built last year and started up last year, and 32 million in programs of scale. So when we talk about partnerships, and when I talked about the Gates Foundation and talked about the World Health Organization and World Vision, these are the kinds of programs that a lot of them get involved in. Of course, the Gates Foundation also works on the Polio Plus program. But the programs of scale over the course of last year, there was a $30 million Rotary Health Communities Challenge that was set up. The intent of the challenge is to strengthen health systems and fight childhood diseases in the Republic of Congo, in Mozambique, in Nigeria, and Tanzania. And it is building on the first program of scale in Zambia, where they were eliminating malaria and looking at eliminating malaria. But this $30 million project is in partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates and World Vision USA. And these partnerships, again, are possible because of the reputation and stewardship over the funds that Rotary exercises. The other $2 million in programs of scale was provided to Partners for Water and Better Harvests in India. And the intent of that is to improve lives of more than 60,000 farmers across 4 states in India through sustainable agriculture and water management. So overall, in excess of $312 million were put to work last year to be able to make it a better world, both locally and internationally. So a very significant impact, whether you're looking at right here or looking anywhere overseas. So this, I've already talked about the 29 million that has been returned to districts to support local community projects. Every club in the district has an opportunity to participate in this. There are some requirements. Of course, there's some training that the clubs have to go through in order to qualify for the grant funding. By the way, that training starts tomorrow. And I know that there are a number of people from the Rotary Club of Winnipeg that are registered to attend, which will allow then the Rotary Club of Winnipeg to be able to participate in getting some funding for district grants and district projects that they want to be involved in. So again, this funding provides an opportunity for you to leverage the fundraising. So what I can highlight right here is the fact that we need to use the money. I know that as we speak, there has been so we receive our first set of funding early in the year, in the Rotary year, so usually July and August. We receive our funding that is dedicated to District 5550. every club has an opportunity to apply if they've attended the training to use some of that money. This year, we've had a second call for funding, and which means that we had some money left over, and we want to make sure that we use it all for local projects. I can tell you that a satellite club has applied for yet another funding for the homeless shelter that they support, Oak Table, and they have been approved. So they have received a $1,500 grant again this year to be able to support the Oak Table project that they carry on. This is the fourth annual uh, uh, support a time that they're going to be supporting the Oak Table. And so they have received an additional $1,500. And I know that there's still about $3,000 left on the table. So if the Rotary Club of Winnipeg is looking to support, whether it's Winnipeg Harvest or anything else, please take a look at the emails that have come through. There is more money available. We haven't missed the deadline. Let's use the money. Let's raise a few dollars and match those dollars to be able to support those that are in need within our own communities. I'm going to take a look at where we stand as a club right now. And so this is a fundraising analysis for the Rotary Club of Winnipeg. And as you can see over the course of the years, you can see the annual fund contributions and then looking at the total contributions. And so the annual fund contributions are the funds that we take a look at to make sure that we're qualified for district grants. And you can see that each year we're over 4,000, close to 5,000 a couple of years. And then the final number that you can see on the screen, so 24, 25, we were up to $8,000 worth of contributions, which includes both the annual programs fund and any Polio Plus contributions that we would have made. So congratulations to the Rotary Club of Winnipeg. You're a strong supporter of the foundation. And for that, the foundation thanks you. Your contributions are returned, of course, to our district. And so whether you contribute and use the funds, contribute, don't use the funds, every club in the district has an opportunity to use the funds that are available to us for grant funding. So once again, I do encourage you to take a look. We will need to take a look at, I didn't do the math here, Nancy, but we have 68 members for 25-26. We need to be at $50 per capita. We're currently at 800, as at the end of October, we're at $829. So that'll have to go up significantly to make sure that we are going to be eligible at the $50 per capita to be able to participate in the grant funding. But overall, strong support, and again, thank you for the support that you've given. What we've been able to do with some of the money that we have, I don't think we applied for a RILA award or grant last year, but the year before we did, and we were able to defray some of the costs for RILA. Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and I know that we're strongly involved, and I think that that's a project that certainly could benefit from some of the district funding. So again, I encourage you to take a look to see whether there is something that can be done to support them in some way, help them to purchase some of the materials, and again, augment that contribution that you want to make by applying for a global grant. The Oak Table, of course, as I just mentioned, they have now, this is, I think, the third time around, they will have received, last year, I think they received $1,000. This year, we received $1,500 towards the Oak Table support. So lots of good ways that we can take advantage of that. And if I look at what was done internationally, of course, Africa, Republic of Congo, a couple of years ago, I know that we worked in Guatemala as well. So lots of different ways that Rotary Club of Winnipeg is making an impact, both locally and internationally. So significant work, and it matters to the people that are being impacted. No matter how you choose to give, I do hope that you will join me in supporting our foundation by donating to the annual programs fund this year. And I just want you to remember gifts of any size make a really big impact, a really big difference. And so, if we're looking at $50 over the course of the year, it can purchase a water filter. $100 could purchase some training. $200 could purchase some medical equipment. And if there are 10 Rotarians that get together and contribute $25 each, that will make a difference. That'll make an impact. And so that no matter how you choose to give or what you choose to give, it is going to have an impact on somebody who needs it desperately. A couple of different levels in terms of contributions. A sustaining member is someone, a Rotarian who gives at least $100 or more to the annual programs fund every year. Of course, once you have contributed, and it's cumulative, it doesn't have to be done all at one time. Once you have contributed $1,000, you become a Paul Harris Fellow, and you earn some recognition points for becoming a Paul Harris Fellow, which will then allow you to recognize someone else with the points that you get without having to give out any additional funds. So the Paul Harris the Fellowship, of course, is a strong recognition as someone who has supported the foundation. And then there are those people who are able to make a commitment to contribute $1,000 every year, and that makes them a member of the Paul Harris Society. And if we go back and take a look at what a Paul Harris Society member or what the Paul Harris Society members can do, they contribute nearly 20% of all of the money that's given to the annual fund worldwide. And so it's a significant impact on what we can do and the amount of funding that would be available. Again, both available to fund both local and international projects. So congratulations to those people who are able to do that. And if you are, that's fantastic. But remember that every little bit counts, and everyone gives what they are able to and what they are comfortable with. So just keep that in mind. A number of different ways to give. Of course, automating your donation is the best way to give. I just think of all the mail strikes that we've had going on, and we had one contributor who was trying to make a significant donation, and we're trying to figure out how to get it to the Rotary Foundation Canada without the mail being there to run it for us. And so going online, basically when you go onto rotary.org and get on the first page, the donate button is right on the first page, and it gives you an opportunity to work through and to be able to do it very, very easily and very quickly, and you'll have your notice right away. Rotary Direct is another option. That's my personal chosen method for payment. You can give as little as $15 per month. That can come out of either a credit card or a bank account. You can adjust it or cancel a recurring gift at any time through My Rotary. But if you take a look at myrotary.org, Rotary Direct, you can learn a little bit more about Rotary Direct or enroll in Rotary Direct. This takes everything out of I don't have to worry about whether I've made my contribution, haven't made my contribution. So it just comes out of my account on an automatic basis. And so it's a great recurring program, and it just gets done what I would like to do, provides Rotary Foundation the support that I want to give it. So that's kind of at the end of my presentation. Before I just say a formal thank you, are there any questions at this point? Sorry, I can't see. So